And good morning, boys and girls. It's Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern. This is RSG coming live at you. And this is Jedi Academy. You can see we got the new screen showing up there. And hope you guys enjoy it. That's all thanks to Dr. Finn Medicine Woman. Who is he? Well, he's the guy, the troll extraordinaire that will be scooping up all your questions. This, of course, is Jedi Academy. I'm Ranger J 1999 from Team Instinct. And this is the show where we do nothing but answer all your questions about the game, which is Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. And if you're new to how this works, it's real simple. You just throw your question into the chat. Dr. Finn will scoop it up, make sure it is in a form of a question or you have question somewhere there so we can identify it as a question, because sometimes if you make just a statement and we don't know that you're actually asking a question, then we might miss it. So make sure you put it into that form. But thank you everybody in the chat for being here. Really appreciate it. Let's introduce everybody. And then we'll give Finn his praise for the new skins and everything on the screen for you guys. First off is my brother from Team Instinct, Mr. Warrior. Warrior, what's going on, man?
All right. What's up?
We're both like, oh God, it's so early. How you been, man?
Not too bad. Just chilling. Sorry I missed last week. I really apologize that I love being on the show and wasn't on last week, but I'm
right.
Here this week, so
yeah,
let's do this.
Yeah, and the next Saturday, pretty sure we are not doing Jedi Academy next Saturday. Just a heads up for you guys, because it's Thanksgiving here in the U.S. and we're all going to be like recovering from large copious amounts of turkey and dressing and all that stuff. Also joining us is the lightsaber builder extraordinaire, one of the RSG crew, Mr. Sir Loki. Sir Loki, I know it's early as hell just for you as well. I'm hoping you're drinking large copious amounts of caffeine like I am.
I'm doing something, but yeah, I'm trying to wake up. But I'm good, man. I'm excited to be here and talk about the game, man. It's like there's so much to talk about now.
Yeah,
they love to do it to us, right? So it's like, a couple weeks, there's like nothing, and then all of a sudden, boom, they drop the open beta, and everybody's having fun, and everybody wants to talk about it. So yeah, I'm excited.
And then also joining us, all the way from across the pond in good old Jolly England, home of 007, but he's not 007. And that would be Mr. Mike Hunt. Mike, what's going on, Mike?
Good afternoon and morning to those of you on the other side of the pond. Having fun, trying to stay awake, and family drama. Eldest broke up with 2-year boyfriend, so I've escaped the estrogen that's flowing in my living room at the moment.
Strong with them.
Strong with the estrogen. Yeah.
How many
suddenly want to eat
in the Mike household?
3 at the moment. Too many.
It's too many. Yeah. What are we to do?
Yeah. Force choke.
And I think did Bella join us yet?
Yes.
Oh my God! The Dark Sith has joined us all the way from Germany. My princess. Darth Bella Gutta.
Hello.
It's so chipper. You and Mike, I swear. I feel like I just died and woke up, which I think is what happened. But how's everything in the land of beer, Miss Bella?
Oh, yeah. Outside it's gray. Inside it's nice and cozy.
So hopefully you have your coffee and you've got everything set up.
I got my coffee and yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the most important thing, isn't it, Ranger?
You tell me, it's the nectar of the gods. Second only to Mr. John Daniels. But I digress, because you shouldn't be having Jack Daniels first thing in the morning, because that means you're an alcoholic and you need help. All right, so now that we've got all that established, while we're getting the questions going, and my computer for some reason just is driving me nuts. Ugh. All right, let's talk about Territory Wars. Now, me and Loki and Dr. Finn got into our thoughts big time on the last stream we did Wednesday for Territory Wars. So if you guys would, Logan, if you want to jump in the conversation and add anything, you can. But I want to throw it out to Warrior and the rest of the crew there. Territory Wars Open Beta happened this week. Your thoughts about the beta itself, and then from what you've seen from Territory Wars, what were your initial thoughts? We kind of did a good, the bad, the ugly. So we'll start there and kind of go around the corn, as Grandi would say, of what you thought of Territory Wars while we're getting the questions in. Warrior, what were your thoughts, my man?
I actually wanted to hear everybody else's thoughts first.
Okay, we'll skip Warrior. I tried to segue properly. Warrior, oh, God damn Warrior. All right, we'll go to Mike. Mike, what were your initial thoughts on Territory Wars? Like I previously mentioned.
Okay, so my first thoughts were, what? So IOS just don't get a chance? That was my initial thought. There's 2 platforms here. Thank you for only making it available on one. And secondly, lots of draws is my conclusion. In top guilds, you're going to draw. Okay, fair enough. It's yeah. Not that excited, but then I haven't had opportunity of playing the beta.
No. Yeah, I unfortunately didn't get on the beta either.
Oh, there's Turbo.
Yay! Hi everybody. Well, hello there.
Well, hello.
Have you done that special mission yet, mate?
I'm working on them now.
Thank
working
you.
on it now. Just got on. Can't go anywhere without getting in trouble today.
By the way, you're in my guild. Do your combat missions now.
Yeah. No, the special. We want them. Them. What's it called? Tokens.
Yeah,
Guild shop.
I finally got my Rolo to 7 stars. So I'll be doing the special mission for tonight when we stream. See what that's like. Turbo, what did you think of Territory Wars?
It looks very interesting. Very interesting. I'm just hoping it's not going to be too time consuming. The reason why they said they was having got a longer break between territory battles is so people wouldn't burn out. So now they are deciding to now fill the gap between territory battles with territory wars. So yay, more things to do. I don't know. It looks interesting, but anything that's gonna add a little bit to the game and help us get more rewards and stuff to advance, then I suppose it's not a massive negative, is it? It looks interesting, but again, I'm wondering how the matchmaking is going to work, because it's based on GP. So whether the top 5 guilds only ever end up facing the top 5 guilds in the game, who knows? We'll see. It might get a bit boring, but we'll see.
All right, Darth Bell.
Lots of draws.
Did you get a chance to get into Territory Wars? And if so, what did you think?
Yeah, I'm on the wrong platform as well. So I was I have to wait till they roll it out, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much. And then anything, we talked about this Wednesday locomotive. Anything from thinking around with it and everything that any more thoughts on it? Or go to Warrior.
Well, we kind of ended. I mean, I'm not gonna.
Hold on, everybody. I just had something weird happen. Give me a second. Looks like Skype's being stupid. So bear with me. I just lost everybody. Oh, you gotta love technical difficulties. What in the hell is going on here? Oh, so maybe just me doing this if I don't get the stupid Skype working. Hmm. Oh, you gotta love technical difficulties. Hang on, guys. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. For all you boys and girls out there that would like to one day do live streaming, just know that when everything goes wrong, you just blame Dr. Finn Medicine Woman. Well, if the Skype call would actually connect, we might actually be able to actually have people talk.
Wi-Fi as well.
There we go. You guys hear me?
It might be like Finn's, man. Maybe the internal wiring is failing.
I mean, are you with us, Ranger? Or no?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I don't think he is.
What the hell? Oh, this is being really, really stupid. Alright, everybody, hang for a second. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the stream for about 30 seconds and then come back. So everybody in the chat, just hang tight. I'm going to figure out what's going on and then I'll be right back.
Now I started a new one.
It just went weird. I don't know what happened. All right.
Blame Warrior.
Yeah, I know. When we're back, we're getting everybody back on the call. I don't know what that was. Something with Skype went funky. It just got really weird. I don't know what was happening. And then when I was trying to connect it, just was not connecting to the call. It was really weird. It just everything cut out. All right, so we're set. We're adding everybody. Sorry about that, guys. Sometimes, technology fails you. Don't know what to tell you. It is what it is. So hopefully we get everybody back in here, and then we'll be good to go. All right. Jesus. You still there, Finn? We getting everybody in here? And the call ended. Why is the call ending? Oh, I'm about to kill Skype. Hang on, guys. Skype is being really stupid this morning. Hang tight. Let me stop the stream again 1 second. I'll be right back, guys. Hang tight. We're going to get this fixed. We got everybody back?
I'm here.
Okay.
Where's Bella? Is she on?
Yeah.
There we go. Good Lord. It's Skype. I don't know what the hell is going on with Skype this morning. Jesus. That's really strange. All right. Mic check, everybody.
Yep.
All right.
Present.
Mike is here.
All right.
Yep.
We got Turbo, we got Mike, we got Warrior, we got Sir Loki. All right. Good Lord. I hate technology sometimes. All right. Let's get back into what we were talking about, territory wars. I think I left it with Loki, so go ahead, Loki, as we try to get Bella in here.
I don't even know where I left off.
I don't either. God damn it.
I don't know. Well, I'll just start again on the battle itself. So what we talked about Wednesday was up to the battle. So we were in defense day where we were setting our defenses, and then we were speculating what was going on with the battles. So just a rough outline, a rough overview is the battles are timed. They're just like Arena. So you got a 5-minute timer. You can pick and choose who you want to fight from the other opposing guild out of each of the territories. So if I wanted to fight Darth Bella, if I want to fight Warrior, Mike, Turbs, Ranger, Finn, their names are there, their teams are there, and you can see their mods, everything. And you can pick and choose who you want to fight. So there's like 25 teams per territory. And then overall, it's just a giant arena, galactic war. You conquer one territory before you can move to the other. You can only move across the board, so like north or south or what have you. And then after you're all done, then you get rewards the following day. And as I was saying, I think before we cut off, the rewards are actually, to me, pretty good. They're probably better than territory battles at the moment, less the crystals and the I don't think you get shards for the store yet, or I think you get guild tokens, which they said they're going to rework the guild store. But overall, for like a 3-day event, but you really only have to battle 1 day, it's pretty good in my opinion, considering the preview mode is what it is. You just set your own roster, and then defense, you set all your teams, and then the 3rd day is battles. So again, it's like Galactic War and Arena all rolled into one. But overall, I'm pretty happy with it. Warrior, did you want to add anything to it?
Yeah, so I guess I don't know if they're going to tier out how many teams you're able to set, but it would be nice if they could create different tiers. So if you're at a higher level tier, you can set more than 25 teams. To everybody that played, did you get to set 25 teams per node?
One person, you mean, or as a
no, just as a group. Each there was like 8 spots to put teams or whatever. And it was like you could have, it was like 0 to 25 or 10 to 25 or 25 to 20. You can only set 25 teams total as a team on that like piece of territory. Was that the same for everybody, or was there a different number?
From what I was reading, it varies based on how many people you go into the war with. We went in with 50, so we had 25, but I think there was another guild that posted somewhere they went in with less than 50 and they had smaller number.
Yeah, because someone said, I saw someone say they had 24. They could only put 24 out. I guess, I don't know, for me, it was really fun. I think that it's drawn out a little farther than it needs to be. I think that the preview day is a total waste of day. I think that that's unnecessary. I think a preview/defense day is sufficient to just preview everything and set your defense. I mean, it took me 5 minutes to set some defensive teams. If that, and then for battle, it took me 5 minutes per battle, not even 5 minutes per battle, and I did 2 battles. I got to set 5 teams, and I got to do 2 battles. That was it. It took me a whopping maximum 10 minutes a day for 2 days to participate. So I'm not complaining. I don't want it to be a super draw because I know that right now territory battles, I have to like take lunch, play territory battles, and then I have to like wait for myself to be able to take a break of work to play some more territory battles, and then I'm coming home and I'm like, oh yeah, I've got Galactic War still, I gotta try and jam out, and I got the rest of territory battles to do, and oh yeah, that's right, I gotta communicate to everyone I've done my battles, and so there's a lot in the game right now, so any more would be a draw. And so I'm happy that it's not a huge draw, but I just think drawing it out for 3 days is silly. Just 2 days is more than sufficient. And eventually, at some point, could probably go down to a 12-hour, but 24 is fine. But I guess for me, just going into it, it just seemed, the rewards were good for what I put in. The rewards were great for what I put in. And you get like Zetas, Mark IIIs, and Omegas, which are what everybody really needs. So, getting those extra spiff of those every, 10 days is going to be awesome. But I guess I just didn't see, I don't know. So mechanically, like, you're fighting another team and you're capped at the same amount of teams. And so what's going to happen is you're going to have two teams of the same size, capped at the same amount, able to put out the same amount of like teams. So there's very little strategy in placing out your teams. We tried strategy a little bit, but there's really not a whole lot of strategy available, I guess. It's pretty simple. You either front load or you front and back load or you back load, or what I mean? There's little strategies like that on the map to try to discourage attacking certain pieces or whatever, but all in all, I don't know. I don't know. I went in, I set some teams, and then I came back 24 hours later, and by the time I got back, the whole map was cleared, but 2 ship battles. So I did 2 ship battles. And I know that's because I'm with Team Instinct, but, so everything is always just done so fast. But it just didn't, there was very little involvement, so there was very little for me to get excited about, except for, more, gear and things like that. So I don't know. It's not as like awe-inspiring, I guess, as I was hoping for, but it's also not a lot of work and you get good rewards, and so that makes me happy, I guess.
I haven't experienced it yet, but the thought that crossed my mind earlier when Saloki was saying about, you can pick and choose, obviously within that guild, but this kind of presents the option of, so I'm sure you're the same, that you're in lots of like different chats and you're chatting with people that are high up in top guilds, and kind of the one that I hear a lot throughout that, even within my own guild, is kind of like, I'd love to be able to fight you, to try out your squad, and this kind of seems to be some way of presenting that option.
Not really, and this is why, because you really have to have kind of a couple A squads that you're going to be able to go wreck crap with, or you're not going to be able to contribute to the team in destroying the opponents. So all the teams that we set, I looked at all the teams we set. There were a couple of really good teams. Like I set one really good defensive team, like one really good. It was a GK, Barasofi, Mother Talzin, Old Daka, CHS, like it was designed to just totally frustrate and piss someone off. And it took 3 attacks for people to beat it. You can actually see when people are in progress on your like node. You can actually see it'll say in progress written over their name, and then once the in progress goes away, it'll like flash, it will go away, and then you'll see all your characters who's left from that battle and how much health and protection they have remaining. And then if somebody else comes back in, it'll go back to in progress, and they just keep working the same character, kind of like Galactic War, until your arena team is killed. So they can come back over and over and over and keep attacking that same arena team until it's defeated, like Galactic War. And I had one really good defensive team I set to like try to make it hard, and it was. But the other defensive teams I set, I mean, it would have been giving up the characters I needed for offense. So what I did was I went in and so this is where I guess strategy is going to come into play. I think 25 people should have just set their entire rosters, like the very best of everything they had, and then the other 25 should have been the clearing day. And you just decide, are you going to be the people who, get banners for setting defense or get banners for fighting offense? But I saved a bunch of badass teams to clear the next day, and then the next day came, and when I got in, 5 hours after it started, everything was done, and I had like 70 unused characters that I didn't even get to use that were my top of the line characters. I just felt terrible that I didn't even get to basically contribute, and then it was just ships. That was all that was left, and I did 2 ship battles and was able to beat both ships battles really easily. So I don't know. It seems like a really interesting concept. I guess I'm just not sure yet. And if they haven't really come out and said this is how you should play it, or that's how you should play it. And I guess just talking through it now, it sounds like I would have been better to just set all my teams on day 1 and then just not even play day 2, because I didn't have the time to go in until it was too late anyway. You know what I mean? And then, if that's the case, I wish I would have had more wherewithal to know that, because I set some crappy defensive teams. I didn't want to waste all my good characters. I put an old droid team that sucks in there, just so I could help contribute teams on every territory node. So I don't know. Well, I guess we'll figure it out when we play through it. There's gonna be a lot of strategy that is designed around it over time.
Yep. All right. Well, let's get to some questions now that we get everything rocking and rolling. So make sure you get your questions in, which I can tell people already are already. So let's just start getting into these. Let's start with Sir Loki. Question from DB: should I be saving Cantina for the 2nd anniversary?
Yeah, if you want to, I mean, they always do some kind of double drop, right? So, it might not be a bad idea. They did hint on the make it a double little quote thing they had, and they might put the veterans in a Cantina node so we can farm them. It wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, it's holiday season, and they always drop something good on holiday season, so that would be my opinion.
Keyboard says question. We'll go to Mike. How did you all find the first part of the beta? I think we kind of answered this already, didn't we? I think we just talked about the beta and stuff. So I'll go to another question here for you, Mike. Question from Mortal Womprat. Question: how valuable are offensive mods, and in what case would you use them instead of crit damage?
Right. Yeah, I'm trying to think of. There is somebody with a Star Wars site which breaks down the mods quite well. You can factor in, can't you, how much crit chance, crit damage your toons have, base stats, and where you get them to. But one of the great places I would have thought to use offense mods would be if you run a Nihilus squad, a Nihilus lead Sith squad, because you're not going to crit anyway, so you want as much damage as possible. So yeah, I mean, most of my Sith, and to be honest, I do tend to run a Nihilus Sith lead when I run Sith nowadays, in response to GK Zaris squads. Yeah, so that would be.
I've been talking way too much this morning already, but I do want to touch on this. I have a video I'm working on for this exact cause because a lot of people don't understand it. So basically, this is the deal. You got physical damage and special damage, right? Physical damage in the game. Every character that does physical damage, for the most part, has a higher critical chance rating. So they have a chance to hit you or critically hit you. With special damage, they can hit you or critically hit you, but their critical chance rate is significantly lower. If you look at every special damage character, Also, the amount, the actual what they call critical rating, which is different than anything most people even understand. It's like 200 to 1 versus 700 to 1. You know, like where Han Solo's 700 to 1, so that's why he's doing 35K off of he's got 2,500, but he's doing 35K. It's because it's a 700 to 1 ratio. But anyway, long story short, physical damage is more likely to crit because it has a natural higher crit chance. And then you can mod that. You can mod critical chance, critical damage on physical damage characters like Han Solo and stuff, and you can accentuate the fact that they have a higher critical chance. On a special damage character, when their critical chance rate is 10, he's basically never going to crit. So why would we want to put critical chance and damage mods on someone who's never going to crit? Now, you could go all in on critical chance and get that 10% to like 25% maybe or something, but you're still going to not be able to get it high enough to consistently crit. So, but that's the other thing. Special damage is traditionally significantly higher. If you look at a special damage character, like, you know, Emperor Palpatine or Thrawn, they'll do 10K a whack pretty easily without very many, you know, without any mods. But if you put critical damage on them and critical chance on them, you're lucky to double that from 10 to 20. But if you get Han Solo, you know, who's hitting for, you know, 8K, and you put you mod him up really, really well, you know, when he's hitting for 22K, it's because he has a higher crit chance, critical rating. It's actually called a critical rating in his stuff. So with special damage characters, if you want them to do more damage, you need to be using offense mods. With physical damage characters, you need to be using critical chance, critical damage, one set of each. And then you need to pay attention to their critical chance. And if their critical chance is below 40%, then you want to put a crit chance triangle on. If they're over 40%, then you want to put a crit damage triangle on. But you first want to get the ability to crit to happen before you worry about the damage component in piece. And so, like I said, for special damage, almost all of them, you want it to be offense mods, because then you're going to boost the overall base damage they're doing. And for every other character that's physical damage, you want it to be crit chance set, crit damage set, and for the triangle, you either want it to be crit damage or crit chance, and crit chance only if their critical chance rating is below 40%, because at that point you're unlikely to crit, and so it's going to become inconsistent, and you want to have consistency with your damage. But that's a super like people don't understand all of that, and it's really actually quite easy. It's a very simplistic mathematical thing to figure out. It's just A, do they do physical or special damage, and B, when they do special damage, put offense. When they do physical damage, crit chance, crit damage. And then for the triangle, it's always just, are we above or below 40%? If we're below, it's crit chance. If we're above, it's crit damage. So I hope that helps.
There you go. No one's half the battle. Next question to Turbo from Corey Delmeyer. Question: if the Night Sister zombie and a culty combo can beat the current meta, why don't I see any of them in my arena? Shard at the top. Good question.
Mainly because they need to be at a reasonably high level to be viable at the minute, and they are obviously pay to play. That's probably why you're not seeing many at the top. I know there's a lot in our guild who are rocking them. I'm not probably strategy wise. I'm not probably not well best placed to answer it because I don't have them. But that's probably why you're not seeing many. With regards to whether they are meta or not, they are pretty good. So I'm told. I'm sure Mike or Loki or Warrior can fill you in on more details, but I believe they are very, very annoying to beat. Very annoying, especially the zombie. There's none on my shard either, to be honest. There's none on my shard. I'm usually the pay-to-play guy who has things first, and even I don't have them, so...
I did a count on our top 50, and there's 34 CLS leads, 14 General Kenobi leads, 1 Rex lead, and me with my Mother Talzin Night Sisters.
But they're probably all maxed out and everything, right?
Most of Talzin I've double zeted, and she's max. She's gear 12. So's Acolyte, Ventress, and Daka, and I got a 5-star Gear 9 zombie,
Mm-hmm.
which it has a go at me every now and again for the amount of times it dies. I had someone count for me. One arena battle, it died 15 times.
All right. Let's see. Darth Bella question: when do we think that the raid journey will happen? I'm assuming this is from DB. I'm assuming BB-8 will return before she does. I am wondering how long I can slow farm the vets from arena. So, what do we think about the upcoming when the raid journey is going to happen, and then about the farming of the vets for their shards?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a crystal ball, so I don't know what they actually planned. Just from the past, we've seen that we don't have much time to farm a character, right?
Mm-mm.
So I wouldn't be too surprised if we don't have a lot of time.
Do you think it's going to be coordinated with maybe the double drops? You know, we got the anniversary coming up. It's going to be before the movie. I think we all can agree on that. We just don't know when. And then, what are they going to do with Han and old Viagra Han and Viagra Chewie? You think they'll be in a cantina node? I mean, there's a lot of speculation on this. You know, it'd be kind of nice.
Yes, but I can't tell people what we don't know. I mean, we heard this or heard that, and the best thing is to be prepared. But if that costs too much money, then wait and see how you do. I can't tell anyone now to go all in, or because I don't know the situation of the people, you know.
Yeah, it is. It does put things up in limbo. I would say I've been farming Han and Chewie with my crystals, just slowing. They're 4 stars. We're going to throw 5 stars. I don't know where they're going to be dropped. I don't know when the event's going to happen, but we know it's coming around the corner. So you're going to have to kind of gauge it to where you're at individually and see where how it goes. Let's see. Trying to make sure. The Warrior question from Jacob Baxter. Question: I have all the gear to get CLS to gear 11 when he comes back. Should I wait for him or use it on a resistance squad? I have Zeta for Finn 6 stars. All others are 7 stars. So he's trying to, just from Jacob Baxter, he's wondering, should he wait for CLS or start working on resistance for his Zeta for Finn and stuff?
No, that's a tough one. If he's struggling with Galactic War and struggling to, unlock certain nodes that he wants to start farming certain characters on, then he probably would just want to try and get that resistance up to snuff so he can start zipping through some of that frustrating material in the game that actually will no longer be frustrating with the resistance squad. But if he's not really struggling with any of the PvE in the game, and he's excited about CLS coming back. I mean, I'm sure CLS will be back soon. So I would, if he's not struggling with PvE, then I would wait for CLS. And if he's struggling and hating life and wanting to throw his phone against the wall every morning with Galactic War, maybe go ahead and get those resistance up. And the thing with resistance, which is cool, is like Gear 7, Gear 8, Gear 9. Like, it really doesn't matter. I mean, it's not that. It's about, it's about potency. It's about, you don't even need speed on any of them really, but I would try and get around 180 to 200 speed on your Poe, just because he's going to taunt and you want him to get that taunt up. But potency, and then the Zeta, and so not a whole lot of gear is even going to be needed to get them where he's going to want them. But obviously, a lot of people underestimate the gear. They go, "Oh my," it's a bit of a pet peeve of mine. People are like, "Yeah, my resistance went through all 6 phases of territory battles, and they're gear 6 and blah blah blah." And it's like, okay, cool, but not everybody has God mods, and if you don't have God mods, guess what? On Gear 7, you can click a really easy to farm piece of gear, stick it in there, and it gives them plus 2% potency. You know what I mean? That's a very easy way to basically mod your character. Gear is modding. It's fixed modding versus variable modding. You see, Gear is stats, and modding is stats. It's just modding is variable stats that you get to decide, and gear is fixed stats. So for people that underestimate gear, I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's actually a very good thing to continue developing the gear of your characters through progression, because they give them, through the gearing, all of the stats they really need for the most part. There are some exceptions to that, but for the most part, I mean, I have a character I needed more armor, and it was like on gear 11, there was a plus 60 armor. It was all it was, just plus 60 armor, and it needed more armor, and I thought, wow, that's great. A tank getting an additional 60 armor. That piece all of a sudden had high value to me, and it was just a silly piece I could farm at gear 11. So it was just one of those things where, you know, don't get caught up in, people get caught up in, you know, what minimal can you do? And I say, you know, don't worry about minimums, worry about development, get them developed as best you can, because it's going to make you less mod reliant. You know, if you can get more potency out of your gear that you're farming, you don't have to worry quite as much about the potency. And I have some people that are like, man, I can't get over 60% potency, but it's working okay, but I can't get over 60% potency. And then they show me their team and they're at gear 7. It's like, well, yeah, you can't get over 60% potency because there's like 12 potency that comes from the next 2 gear levels.
Why do I only have so much protection? Well, it's gear 6.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So anyway, yeah, I would if he's struggling with PvE, get him to develop that team. But if not, just wait for CLS.
Yeah, CLS. The both are worth it. Zeta Finn, I think, is the best Zeta in the game, my opinion. But CLS is pretty badass too. So there you go. All right, top of the heap. Back to Sir Loki. This is from Bad Rongo. Question: for the Throne event, aside from Unique's and Hera's leadership, which abilities should I focus leveling up on? Hera, Kanan, Zeb, and Chopper. Ezra's already maxed, except Zeta. Think of my 6 hours of pain, and then answer.
I have a mental block for that, man. I mean, I think Zeb is good, because, you know, he's... At least the way I did it was...
you want to have them
Zeb
at least
to
a
assist.
mega, right? With all
yes,
this?
because you need the daze and you need the stun out of that guy, and you're gonna have to call him a lot for assists. It's just gonna help a lot with especially the last tier, right? When you're going up against Thrawn, so you want to stun guys, you want to daze them, so they're not getting turn meter, and you don't want them to take turns. So I would say at a minimum, I think it's. What is it? I did his unique, which is Shrug Off. I mean, that just gives him more protection. But wouldn't be a bad idea maybe on his basic as well. Or I'm sorry, it's his it's his basic. So just give him more damage on Zeb. What else did I do on that? Chopper. I ran Chopper, and I actually maxed him out completely just because I like that he gives the health back. So Zeb gives the protection back, and Chopper gives the health back, right? So Chopper got that buff, if you remember. So I did the event obviously at the first time, when like Warrior did it and Mike did it, but Chopper got that buff. He doesn't need any Zetas, so his Omega actually got better. So it wouldn't be a bad idea working on him as well. If your Ezra's good, maxed out, then that's your main damage dealer right there. And then the toss-up was going to be Kanan. I did do his Clear Mine, which is his unique. So that's the one that gives him more heal, and then it gives him another 15% counter chance, and then he's going to share the counter chance with everybody else.
Yeah, Kanan is a good one, too.
Yeah. So probably the rankings would be... Kanan, probably Kanan first, then Chopper, then look at Zeb again. Hera's, I did the Rise Together. That's the other Omega, and that's the turn meter gain is doubled for the allies with the less health. Just a little icing on the cake, I guess, but you should be good. Especially if you have a maxed out Ezra already, just focus on those 4 that I mentioned right there. I think you should be okay.
All right. Let's see. Mike. This is a question from Drew Smith. It says, question, what is the best arena team that you could make using only pilots?
Ooh.
This So you can make it a retain, but you can only use pilots.
I sense a YouTube video coming.
No, was it Galactic? It might have been a Galactic War run I did recently, where it then dawned on me that they were all pilots that I was running. It was kind of like, it was Gar, Super Pooper, so that's Gauntlet. First Order Stormtrooper, Kylo, and Thrawn. I think I was running that. Yeah. So that gives you Gauntlet, Chimera, and 2/3 of the Flying W.
I call default on that. I wouldn't class Thrawn as a pilot.
Well, maybe his ship's a little bit bigger, but I mean, it's still flying, isn't it? Or moving through space. I suppose you can't actually say that any of them fly, do they? They just move through the void.
All right, enough physics stuff.
Whoa!
The hell's going on here?
It's the afternoon.
Mm-hmm. All right, Turbs. This is from DB question. It says, around the corn for iOS users. Have you noticed that Star Wars Galaxy Heroes restarts whenever it goes in background with the latest iOS? That hurts doing raids before posting time. Any ideas?
I'm not iOS, but even on Android, I tend to get resets, especially if you swap over apps. Say if you go onto Line or Discord, sometimes that trips it out. I had a crash today when Skype kicked in. I think it's just one of those things. I think you need to turn all your apps off and lock yourself in a corner, especially if you're doing a territory battle.
I mean, Jesus.
It's just one of those things, I think. I don't know. I can't speak for iOS users, but Android has similar issues as well.
Yeah. I don't know what you can do to. I mean, what are some tips, tricks? There's really
I'm on iOS.
Quiet 07.
Yeah, I'm on iOS, and I think you can turn it off if I'm not mistaken. There's a setting where you can turn off the app switching or the background processing or something like that. Try that out. I could do it on so I have an iPad that's on iOS 11. My phone is still on 10 because I didn't want to deal with it. But on my iPad, I turned those background settings off, and it seems to work. I can go back and forth between Discord and the game, and it hasn't, knock on wood, crashed on me or reset or something like that. So you might want to play with the settings in iOS first.
So Team Instinct would absolutely kill me if I admitted this, but there have been times where I was in the middle of a battle in round 2 or 3, and then a customer came in, and I was with that customer for 3 hours while my phone was sitting on the counter, and I had to turn it on, push the button to darken the screen so they wouldn't see the game on, and then set the phone back. And then I come back 3 hours later, turn it back on, and it's just paused, and I turn it back on and finish the battle. Like I said, Team Instinct would kill me because there's so many other people that have app crashing and freezing and other crap. I have never, knock on wood, never had an issue, not once, with anything like that. But I use a Samsung Galaxy S7, and I've never had a problem with the game pretty much on anything, on any level. It seems like the processor inside the S7 is just able to kick major butt and handle absolutely everything I've thrown at it. And it handles its multi-app function. Every time I go to another app, it pauses the game.
Yeah, same.
It literally puts it in pause. So I've never had a problem. Yeah, I've never had a problem with Samsung. So
yeah, the only time I've ever,
a lot of other people.
Yeah, it's weird because I was doing the. I just happened to be on my emulator, and I was doing territory battles, and luckily it was phase 3. I did all the battles. I was getting to my final round of battles, and it locked up. It froze, and I was like, "Huh." I've never had it on my Samsung, and I think I've got the S8, Galaxy S8. I've never had any issues with any Samsung when I've played the game and stuff. So, I don't know. I don't know the specific details of, I guess just be on your phone and it's a lesson, and that's how you got to do it, I guess. I mean, if you're running, Android with Samsung, it seems like it's the most stable platform. So, All right. Let's see here. Next question. If I can get this stupid thing working. Let's see. Darth Bella. This is a question from Vague. And his question is, for the Phoenix team in territory battles, do I drop Sabine or Chopper from the team? It's a good question.
Yeah. I was a fan of Sabine when the Phoenix team was new, but then I skipped Sabine for Chopper. The question is more difficult now that you can put Zetas on the Phoenix team, because the Zeta of Sabine is real cool. And I haven't Zetaed her myself, but from what I heard, it's really worth having her on the team then again. I managed to win the battle without Sabine, so I go for Chopper, and I don't have Zetas on my Phoenix team.
Yeah, I'm the same. I run Kanan, Chopper, especially for territory battles, that we're currently on, which is I'll switch over to Phase 6. But for that battle, I've been winning it consistently, and I do not use Sabine. However, we can go around the corner if anybody wants to jump in. Does anybody use Sabine on Phase 5?
I do.
I don't have a working Chopper. Giggity.
I'm the opposite. I leave Kanan out.
Interesting.
I leave Kanan out. Mainly, he's my.
You don't like countering?
Yeah, you don't like countering. What's wrong with you, fool?
It's not so much that his countering and tanking and everything. I mean, Kanan's, in my opinion, a necessary must in the team. But
beast.
He cleanses as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, he cleanses. He taunts. He gets protection. It's like, good God, that guy's amazing. And as soon as if you've ever had it where you've just had bad RNG and he dies, you're like, well, I'm done.
I think for everybody, the question has to be relative to the individual asking the question. And so, there is no blanket black and white statement. I just put out a Phoenix video this week that goes over, and I kind of say, if you're going to use the Phoenix for PvE only, kind of like I do, where I don't really use them for arena, then Chopper was the better route to go. And if you're using them in PvP potentially, and or you want to be in the game with these teams, you definitely should be investing in Sabine because she's in-game material for that team. But the other thing is Sabine's harder to farm, Chopper's easier to farm. So if you're free to play and all you're looking at doing is getting them to the minimum, like some people are worried about, I just want to be able to use them just the least amount, and that's the only end result, then Chopper is the way to go. He's easier to farm, and he's even easier to gear than Sabine, and you can get him. He's more viable at a lower gear rate than her. So everything about it is that if you're like, I want to use them and I want to max them and I want to be a badass with Phoenix, then you probably should be investing in Sabine and getting her up and everything. It's just a Zeta heavy team is all, but it's a phenomenally great free-to-play team. It's just a Zeta heavy team. I mean, 4 Zetas required is, for them to be viable is a lot of Zetas. However, to be fair, CLS has 3 on its own. You know what I mean? And R2 has 2 on his own. So there's 5 with just 2 characters, and almost everyone in the top 20 of every shard is running that combo. So to be fair, it's relative. But if you're not going to care about them after you get your them barely the highest they need to be able to do territory wars or territory battles, and you get your Thrawn and that's it, and you just want to discard them after that, then yeah, you're probably just going Chopper. But if you're a connoisseur of characters and you love the Phoenix Squad and they're kind of you're all in and you really want to develop them, have them all. Have them both so you can have them to vary and to switch in and out. And don't stop at gear 8 or 9. Can go all the way to gear 11.
Yep.
If CG you're listening,
gear 12 even, Warrior.
Yeah.
I have them all 6 at gear 12.
Jesus, gear 12, really? Wow. Look at Bella kicking ass.
You run their ships then? Do you run their ships then?
But they are pilots as well.
Yeah.
Right. You run their ships?
You run the ships?
Yeah, I have them in my fleet. I use them in my fleet, and of course I use them for light side territory battles.
Awesome. Do you find yourself getting targeted a lot because you're using their ships?
I'm hiding them in reinforcement in arena.
I love it because the Phantom 2 is one of the best one of the best ships for target lock in
agree.
the game. I mean, double target lock. Come on now, you know what I mean? It's great.
I like the combination, and the Ghost has a lot of extra abilities like weaken and this AOE and can hide another ship, stealth another ship.
Yeah, they're really good ships.
Yeah,
I agree.
I was just going to ask if CG are listening, can you please put some coding in that makes Hera the default lead? Every time I click on the Phoenix battle in territory battles,
it's like
Ezra
Chopper,
is lead. And I'd love to know how many people go into. I mean, I've seen screenshots where it's like, oh, okay, I've started the battle. I've just realised Ezra's my lead. Because you can't quit.
I know how to fix that.
You
just have to have no Zetas. No Zetas on the team except for Hera. Have Hera have her Zeta, and then she'll be the most powerful in your guild, and they'll always default with her as the lead.
God, that's a great point.
That just means Ezra's your strongest of all of them.
No, I know. It's just annoying that there is only one lead for Phoenix.
Yeah.
And she's not the default leader.
It does that all the time. You have to be careful because you can go into territory battles. I had one where I was like, luckily it was an early one, but I wasn't paying attention, and I realized, oh, it had Cassian as my leader. Oh well, shit. Just like, God damn it. Look, it was like the first phase. I was like, okay, I don't have to worry about it this time, but I want to pay attention to that. Since I have a Zeta Jen, I might want to use her instead of him. That's a little bit important. Warrior question from Chris Z: are Night Sisters worth a few grand?
Are you serious?
That's the question. Are Night Sisters worth a few grand?
Question. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll try and be serious. No. I mean, I don't know. God,
the whole team.
That's a really tough question.
I mean, Mother Talzin's a beast.
Digital merchandise is worth a couple grand, to be honest. This is, even if you're a whale, I think the money would be better spent on gearing your characters and farming your characters and maxing them out. I'm a whale, and I did not buy those characters all to 7 stars. So, I mean, I guess, I don't know. Monkey see, monkey do kind of thing. I don't know. I have a few characters that are going to be at 3-star for a while, and that is my Night Sisters that have just come out, and the new characters of First Order that have come out. Those characters are all going to be until they're free to play farmable, or until those events come back 80,000 times. I'm not going to have those characters to 7 stars, and I don't think it's worth the money. I don't have a problem with people spending money in the game. I think that's fine if they want to support the game they enjoy and they have disposable income, but it's just so much better. I mean, you're not going to break anything, no meta, no nothing, by having them maxed out. It's a fun team to run, but you can also run them right now without those new 2 characters, or at least without the Spirit. Some of the most overpowered Night Sister squads in the game right now are on some of those oldest shards leaderboards. I mean, Meraxis runs a Asajj Ventress lead. I've seen some old DACA leads, and those teams are phenomenal. And they're a combination. They're running a 3-star Gear 9 tank with the Mother Talzin lead and stuff like that. But I don't think any character that I've seen. And this is the thing: all those purchasing characters are take it or leave it. They're really not game defining characters. They're cool, but you don't have to get them to 7 stars. Wicket's not changing the world if you don't have them, kind of thing. The really, really, really important characters in the game that you really need, you have to earn through farming other characters, and those other characters are always free to play, or are made free to play. So, I mean, CLS, anyone can earn him if you farm those 5 characters. Thrawn, anyone can earn him if they farm those 5 characters. So the really baddest ass characters are going to be earned through free to play characters, and those free to play characters should be geared and leveled up. So if you got $2,000, buy $2,000 in crystals, find every character you need for other characters and max them out. And if you've already done that, then start focusing on getting everybody to 7 stars, level 85, gear 11. Like, have that be your new platform. And do that, because I think galactic power would be more important than 2 characters in the game getting them to 7 stars.
Agreed. All right. Let's see here. Back to the top. Stupid Discord. This is for Sir Loki. No, Mike. This is from Darth Raki TGO. Says question: CLS lead with Zeta Han and R2 are the Holy Trinity. What 2-man cores are good substitutes for Thrawn and General Kenobi with them? I heard Old Ben and CHS are good here.
Oh yeah, they are. They're really good. I've actually run that squad: CLS lead, R2, Han, CHS, and Old Ben for an entire galactic war.
Mm-hmm.
Completed it with them. They're great. Funnily enough, I was chatting with an old guildmate yesterday, and he was saying about maybe you should work on his Captain Han Solo, and I was saying, I think he's one of the most underrated toons in the game. He daisies on his basic. He hits pretty hard. He heals. If you put the Omega on the heal, he'll also, if you max the heal, he also boosts protection or gives protection regen as well. And he revives. And under CLS, he's a rebel, so he's going to counter. And, counter with
and
days.
cleanses.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what's not... I'm surprised. I know that...
I haven't last week, so people should watch that video. It's really fun.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great toon. He's one of the ones that I'm sitting with an Omega, not an Omega. I'm sitting with a Zeta. Chances are it's going to be Ventress, just because I watched. I don't know. Has anyone seen on Reddit? Night Sisters, Mother Talzin, Old Daka, Sarge Ventress with Zeta Unique, and Talia and Initiate, I think. Solo P4. And Ventress is hitting for like 300k.
I haven't seen that.
It's amazing. It takes about 10 minutes or something, he was saying. Basically, you want two of the sisters to die, not Ventress. And then, we're under the towers in lead. Away you go. And she's doing the endless wrath and taking out all the turrets and the droids. Boff, they're gone. And then, you just plow them through. It's amazing.
Awesome. All right, Turbo, you're up. Next question. This is from Mortal Womprat. Question: if you were going to double tank on a non-CLS team, which 2 tanks would you choose?
A double tank on a non-CLS team? It's been that long since I've run a non-CLS team. If you're going to double tank, off the top of my head, I think you're probably going to go Baze, aren't you? And a Rogue One squad, it'd be okay, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You got a Zin lead, and if you run Baze and Chirrut, and then shove Scarif Rebel Pathfinder in there, and Cassian. That does very well in territory battles.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my Scarif Rebel Pathfinder to 7 stars, so I can. I got him gear 8, trying to get him gear 9, so I can, because K2SO, especially territory battles, that's the one thing. I've been 113 out of 114 stars last 3 territory battles, because I get to that damn last battle and territory, and all of a sudden my Rogue One team just gets destroyed. And they made, K2SO is so worthless. And someone's like, you should run Scarif Rebel Pathfinder. I'm like, I should run Scarif Rebel Pathfinder. Let me farm him up and finish him. Because, good God, K2SO is just... He's not good.
Yeah.
He's just not...
Right.
He's poor. I remember somebody saying that the Zeta used to be worth it, but 1% protection recovery?
No.
No.
Ranger, run the Scarif.
I'm going to.
Yeah,
Uh,
he's definitely a good tank. Offense down, he revives himself when he dies.
He's a pain in
A
Providing
great
his taunt,
suggested
providing his
retail
taunts.
price.
He is good.
The
All right.
thing with K2SO that makes him really, really good is days. There's very few characters on light side that do days, and he's one of 3 primary characters that you can free to play farm that has days. And so for me, anyway, when I'm running my Rogue One, if you get stuck with 6 Snowtrooper commanders or Snowtrooper elites on phase 6 at the last section, you could be pinballed to death and lose, even with a Gear 12
Yep.
Rogue One team, unless you have days, because then he'll counter in days and it stops one of them from countering, and then they shoot him again, he counters in days, you know what I mean? So he's got that special that can daze, and they can stun because they're rebels, and that's an ability within there. So I for me, just any character that dazes is an absolute must. I tell people, even if you don't want to develop a lot of other characters, K2SO in my opinion is a must have for tank for the territory battles, just even as a standalone tank by himself with nobody else, just him alone, he would be one of the best. I say the same thing with CHS is one of the best because of that days on basic, and same thing with Zeb. I think Zeb is other than maybe Ezra, Zeb is the most usable Phoenix outside of a Phoenix squad. I put Zeb in non-Phoenix teams all the time in territory battles just so I have that one dazer. So I have someone applying days to make sure that I can target that character that freaking always counters and make sure that I'm not getting totally pinballed by the opponents. So I don't know. K2SO I think is underrated. I think a lot of people don't like him because he's just a bit annoying and doesn't do much. And that's true. But his days days is just one of the best debuffs in the game, hands down. So I like having at least one character that does days in every team. So that way I don't have to worry about that pinball effect at the very end. And ever since I've had at least one dazer on every team, one person that applies days, I have been able to do 114 and 114 every time. So the only times I ever went 113 was when I got pinballed at the very end, and I even lost on a Rogue One node once. And I have Gear 12 Rogue One.
It doesn't matter. You get that the dark side gets going, you're in trouble. It's just like ping 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 ping. Can I get a turn? No. Okay, I'm dead.
Which is why, like I said, days is so critical.
I'm just wondering now. I'm thinking about running a mall lead K2SO, CHS, BB8, Zeb squad.
Jeez.
just to see everyone standing still all the time.
Ping, ping, ping,
Ooh,
ping.
by the way, speaking of that, I did run on the developer account, just curious, a days team. And it was either stun or days. And so I had CHS and Zeb in the background. I had R2D2 and Han Solo in the foreground with CLS. So I had the front 3 were stunning. Han Solo stuns, R2 stuns, and CLS was stunning after he debuffs the first time. Then he stuns after that. And then they're all countering. And then in the back, I had Zeb, who's a rebel, so he's countering and dazing everybody nonstop, and so is CHS countering and dazing. And Zeb is doing protection regeneration on people, and CHS was putting protection and health regeneration on people. And I had on my dev account everything maxed out with everybody around 200 speed, which on the dev account wasn't good. I mean, it sounds amazing, but everybody else is like 260, 280 because they've been farming mods on that dev account for like a year or more. But I was under geared comparatively and under modded, and that team with Zeb and CHS in the background smoked every single team on auto battle, no worries, almost full health and protection every time, like ended with full health and protection. Absolute insanity. But again, I don't have my CHS maxed out and Zated. I don't have Zeb maxed out and Zated on my personal account, but that if somebody had those characters maxed out, OMG, run that crap.
I'm liking that.
Yeah, I was thinking of running that in a video recently, and I haven't had time to do that video, but I want to because people need to know Zeb outside of Phoenix, man, especially in the Rebel team composition that we're talking about with CLS and R2D2, is badass. And
Oh, Lord. Not this crap again. Hold on, everybody. What in the hell is going on with Skype? Hang on, everybody. I don't know if you guys can hear me, but Skype just was being poopy. All right. What in the wild, wild world of sports is going on here? All right, everybody, hang tight. Some issues with Skype again. Oh, I hate Skype so much at this moment. Hang tight, everybody. Skype is being really dumb. All right, hang tight. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with this stupid thing.
Cool.
All right, here we go.
I want to kill Skype. Cost me a crash in territory battles when I got a Skype call earlier from the restart.
There's something's going on with it.
Not
I
the
don't know what's
special
going on. We're
mission.
back here, but it's like, not special mission.
It wasn't the special mission, no. It was. I was in.
Have you thought about going back to Google Hangouts? That
No,
works.
Hangouts is way worse.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. How long is this going on with Skype? I don't know what's going on. I mean, when we get done streaming, I'll look at what's going on. I'm not sure what
about
the hell
Discord?
is happening.
They just recently updated that.
Yeah, Discord, trying to run it through. I mean, you can't use it through your regular web browser page because it just doesn't run very well. I mean, you have to download the app and everything and use it through an emulator and all this other stuff. But then it gets really kind of funky. Skype is usually the best one we found so far. Just today, this is the first time we've had issues with it. So I don't know what's happening. Now we just did the new updates with all the encoding and everything with this. So. I don't know. We'll figure it out, guys. We're back, as I said. So let's get back to the questions. Hopefully, that was the last little poopy thing going on. I don't know what that's been happening, but we'll get the technical stuff done. All right. So back to questions. Sir Loki, you there? I guess Sir Loki there, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. This is from Darth Raki TGO. Question: how do I transfer my account to another iPhone? Because my phone broke today and I refuse to miss one because I need my last star.
He says iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what he says?
Mm-hmm.
You just log in.
You can use an emulator and just log in with your account, right?
No. If he says iPhone, then he's on iOS.
Oh,
so
yeah, iOS. Never mind.
You just log into a Game Center or App Store. It should be fine. If he's if his Android phone broke and he got transferred to iOS, then you have to go through EA and you have to request the transfer.
Yeah.
That goes vice versa. So.
Yeah, I did it, and it's exactly as you said. So Loki. Just log
into
Game Center.
Yeah, Apple, you just log into the Game Center or the App Store, and it's fine.
Winning. All right, Darth Belloc. This question from Keyboard. Question: is the Throne event returning a sign that the Chimera, or the Chimichanga, as Ograni would say, is also returning?
I think yes, but not in the very near future. I would say Chimera is next year. I don't have proof, but it was one of those very rare events, right?
Yeah, I think, didn't they say in a post that ship things were coming back, like at end of this month, beginning of December, they were bringing that event back? I don't know if they mentioned Chimera. I know the other ones were, but...
Yeah, I mean, what I expect them to do is that when we start dark side territory battles, that they will have the Chimera event back, and they kind of time that, because it's quite... I mean, even for the light side, it's quite nice that you can choose from 2 capital ships which one you use.
Yeah.
Because you have to put some of the ships in platoons that clearly make you choose this or that capital ship. And it won't be exactly the same for the dark side, because they are both Empire, but still they have some features that are a little bit different. So probably it's a good way to put it, that when we have dark side battles, maybe even before, we'll have the Chimera back.
There we go. All right, next question for Warriors from DB. Question: what was the best arena top meta team? I.e., what was the top teams, same as meta report?
What's currently on the number 1 slot for the meta report?
Yeah,
is that what he's asking? It's
no,
the team that
what was the best? What was the beta arena top meta team? What was the top team same as the meta report?
So the top 20 were all Team Instinct, because they just had to go and do that. But it was varying. I mean, there was Barriss, General Kenobi teams. There was Asajj Ventress lead teams. There was Mother Talzin teams. There were CLS led teams. The thing about Team Instinct is they don't care about the meta. They just want what works, and they're very creative. And so, I mean, there was 8 different team compositions in the top 20. More variety than you'll see on a normal leaderboard, because normally when someone makes a team that's really good, whether they stumble upon it or theorycraft or hear about it and put it together, the rest of the people are having a hard time beating it. So what do? They mock it. They basically start to build that team, because they're like, well, if I have a hard time beating him, then I'm going to go ahead and build that team, and everybody else is going to have a hard time beating me. And so that's where these teams kind of, why leaderboards kind of start to, like wildfire, spread a particular team. Because, you play against that General Kenobi Barriss Offee team, and you're like, God, it took 4 minutes. That was irritating. And then you start skipping that guy, right? And then you're like, I want people to skip me. So I'm going to build that team, because then people are going to jump over me because I'm irritating. So that's kind of the necessity. And every leaderboard's different. I've got a friend that's on a leaderboard, and everyone's General Kenobi Barriss Offee. I don't have anybody running that, because everybody runs the CLS, Han Solo, R2-D2, Thrawn, and General Kenobi. That team. It's the number 1 team in the meta. That team is the team that our whole entire guild, or the whole entire leaderboard, runs. And the reason why they run it is because it's easily beatable, actually, very beatable. But it can beat anything. It can absolutely beat anything 100% of the time. There's not a team it can't beat. So it's no paper, rock, scissors. It's beatable, or it can beat anything. So that's why my leaderboard runs that, because of that. And so that's why I'm trying to someone earlier in the stream said the Holy Trinity was CLS, R2, and Han, and I agree with that. I think that triple combo is just sick. But But I do like changing up those back 2 slots because I don't like being just Thrawn General Kenobi like everybody else. I do like to mix that up.
Yeah.
New Acolyte Zombies are a very interesting trio.
Yeah.
Where Nuke gives the turn meter and crit chance boost to anyone stealthed, and Acolyte's perma stealthed, and Zombie just dies a lot, and you can really plow through teams. And not one Zeta required.
All right. Next question here. Let's see. Back to the top. Mike, question from DB. Question. For the Guild Wars, what is a differential of winning guilds versus losing?
What, rewards-wise?
I'm assuming that's what it says. It just says for the Guild Wars, what is the differential of winning guilds versus losing?
To be honest, I would have to defer that to somebody that's... I've seen some reward shots. This goes back to what we were discussing earlier. I don't know. Is it that you get less Omegas and Zetas?
Are you saying you have to defer that to somebody who's lost?
Yeah. Well,
I think
no.
DB has a follow-up question. I mean, he says, does everyone in the guild get same rewards in Guild Wars like territory battles, or is it based on points like raid?
I would assume
no, everybody gets the same.
Even payout.
It's the same, right?
Yeah, everybody gets the same.
Because it's collaboration, isn't it? You're all chipping in either offensive or defensive players. You're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad. I like the rewards. I wish they would buff the territory battle rewards now. Seeing you have a 3-day event versus a 6-day event, right? So the rewards for this territory war, at least in the beta, I think are very good because it's kind of like what Warrior said. There's very little investment in time. At least I think there is. Maybe the guys that have to go on offense on day 3 invest a little more time than the guys that set defensive teams up. But, that's something you can that might be something you can set with your guild is like, okay, so I don't have time this week, guys. I'm just going to set all my guys on defense and you guys go attacking and you guys, rotate that chore of playing with the game, right? So there's definitely a lot more flexibility than territory battles, and I think the rewards are very good for the time invested. So.
All right. Next question, we'll go to Turbo. Question from Keyboard. Question, what will be more important, offense or defensive teams, or will it depend on your roster? This is for Territory Wars.
What will be most important? I think they're both as important as each other, but offense is... saying that, Mike, are you saying you're getting a lot of draws on offense? Or is that something they're going to be addressing?
No. Just from what I must admit, I've only read a limited amount on Territory Wars, but the general speculation is that the top guilds are all going to draw, so it's all going to be draw payouts over victories. It's
yes,
I think it's
CG
there have been canny. I like it because effectively what they're doing is they're removing the the gloating for top guilds.
Yeah, you'll end up with ties, won't you?
Yeah, there are. Yeah, it's the taking part that counts. It seems suddenly CG's gone British. It's not the winning; it's the taking part.
Yeah, gone British. You can have a medal for taking part. That's the one.
Yeah. Because although you'll have 50 whales that are really happy, you're going to have 350 whales that really aren't, and that's bad business.
Yeah, but it's got to be offense, hasn't it? If you're not beating the defense teams, then obviously you're not going to win your war or the areas, are you? But obviously having good defense squads in there is obviously going to help and benefit you to not losing points or gaining points. I forget exactly what the system is, but offense is going to be leaning towards offense being where you should be putting your stronger characters.
But but it's then the strategy, isn't it? Because obviously you want your main offensive tunes in your offense, although you're going to need some in your defense to. The best form of defense is offense, isn't it?
Yes. It's interesting to play it, to be honest. It's going to be
loads of like Akbar, Hermit Yoda, Zeta Zebs or something, isn't there, in defense?
Yes. Yes. I've just got my Hermit Yoda to Gear 11 today. Yay! I'm going to have a play room later. Woo!
God. All right, next question. For Sir Loki, question from Evergo. I've noticed quite a few Asajj squads on the top of the beta leaderboards. What squads can beat them?
I mean, you can use a standard CLS team. It depends how the Ventress Night Sister squad is built. So if they're spamming the real squishy zombie, the problem with that team the problem with the controls that I've noticed is if you're the kind of person that likes to full auto and random target everybody, the AI is going to always target the squishiest tune, or when the zombie revives, then the targeting circle is going to go on the zombie. So the best way to beat it right now is spam CLS's the what is he called, the is it called action, or what's that thing called? It's his buff where he can ignore the taunts, right? And then you just I normally go after Daka first, and then I actually leave Ventress last, so I go Daka first, and then Mother Talzin, and you just spam those. You spam CLS's ability that he can ignore the zombie and just whack at it, and you should be able to take it down in like 3 minutes or so. It's not terribly it's not unbeatable. So but there's different versions of it. There's some where the zombie is super tanky, so then you want to put healing immunity buff immunity on it so it doesn't regain the taunt, and then again just whack away at the other members. But you always want to kill Daka first, because Daka will bring back all the Night Sisters.
All right.
I would just add to that you want to make sure that if Acolyte's in there, she's minimum third kill. Don't leave her and Zombie alone, because if she stealths, then she's just going to keep going.
All right. Darth Bella, a question from Mace. And he says, is anyone else really annoyed that heroes like CLS, General Kenobi, and Thrawn are so overpowered meta? I want to use more of my heroes, 133 of them, but nothing outside of meta holds. How can CG fix this? Is there a reason why they don't? Yes, I can try things, but I don't want to drop constantly and have to climb, especially if having a busy day in the office. So what do you think of old Mace's questions there, Darth Bella?
Yeah, I'm actually, I agree a little bit. In my arena, they all run GK Lead and Saris now, and I didn't want to Zeta Saris, but I have no option, because I think Warrior mentioned it before that you're targeted when you don't have Saris in your team. And so I'm facing a bit the same. I'm not sure what to do right now, except follow the stream. But I think it would be cool to have different teams. But again, Arena is not the only part of this game. I'm actually, I really love to find out how to put together teams for territory battles. Which teams work. I mean, we have mainly rebels now, so it's not the full roster. But as I said in the beginning, I didn't have a chance to do the beta for territory wars, but there we have another opportunity to create new teams, and we can't. We've been saying that before. We can't just use one team. So arena, of course, it's important because you get crystals, but still, it's not the only thing that where you can fight in game.
Yeah. All right. Next question. This is specifically for Warrior. This is from Artorius Draknight. He says, my question for Warrior. I maxed my crit damage % for my Raid Han and Zeta him. Why isn't he hitting 50k on a basic? It's Warrior there. Did we lose Warrior?
He's still showing in the room.
Warrior, are you on mute?
Is he at work?
Might be.
If we wait 3 hours, he'll come back to seeing his customer.
Somebody else want to tackle this, I guess?
I would say look at your mods.
Yeah.
It's the secondary stats that you kind of looking at, because obviously all the main stats are constant on all the mods.
I'm sorry, what was he's asking why his Han doesn't hit for 50k?
He says, I maxed my crit damage % for my Raid Han and Zated him. Why isn't he hitting 50k on a basic?
I know, because he's fighting GK Zaris.
Yeah, there's too many variables. I mean, did you gear 12 him? Because you need to gear 12 him and put the bayonet on him. That's a good start. What kind of mods are you running? So Warrior touched base on the crit damage thing earlier in the stream, but do your crit damage mods also have like offense secondary? So you wanna, if you wanna just kind of shoot for something like the physical damage, you probably want to get it to like 3,200 and then total, and then you want crit damage obviously at 216%. Then you want his crit chance at like above 60%, and then you want the bayonet so it does the armor penetration, right? So you need 149 armor penetration, which is what'll help. And then you also want the Mark 12 Armatech. So he's got 2 pieces of gear 12 that increases physical damage or armor penetration. So that's obviously going to bring the damage up. And then what Mike just said, you don't want to attack opposing GK, because that GK could have the armor and the goggles and all the gear 12 pieces to bring his armor up to like 40% and what have you on that. So you can get it to probably hit 50k on like a gear 9, squishy character, but if you're going up against like a top defensive tune like GK that's maxed out with all the gear 12 pieces, it's going to be hard to hit him for 50k. Just for an example, I have a maxed out GK and I surround him with Zaris and R2, and everybody has like 42,000 health. And I go up against other Raid Hans in my arena that have the bayonet and the cybernetics and 3,200 offense, and their basic is hitting me for like 10k, and then my GK is getting healed for 13,000 a hit. So that's the opposition you're going up against. Is it's just because your Han Solo can 50k somebody doesn't mean it's gonna, another tune doesn't mean it's gonna 50k all the tunes, right? So there's defense, there's armor, there's all that stuff you have to take into consideration.
There you go. All right, back to the top, Mr. Mike. This is a question from Junior Hawk 003. He says, I'm getting almost all of my territory battle waves and do well in both arenas. What speculative farming should I be doing?
Dark side.
It's good.
I'd always go dark side. Definitely. Farming, I put in what I'm doing. Farming Falcon, Shuttle, TIE Reaper. I've set my regime that I do Pat Blue farming on a Sunday for the canteen, because it's the Cantina Energy Challenge on the Sunday. I'm making a thing of that. I'm up to 65 of 100 shards on. It is Pat Blue that's in Cantina, isn't it? I'm getting confused between the different fuzzy balls. But yeah. And other than that, Dark Side. Who haven't you got? Look at your factions. Who do you need to get to make up your squads? Again, I'll use an example. Magma Trooper is my only Empire toon that isn't Gear 11 now, I think. So Magma Trooper is my target there. Geo Spy is another one. And of course, Geo Spy is featured in a video very recently. So I've been told.
Magma.
So yeah. Magma.
All right.
Sorry. I'm unfortunately I'm going to have to go. My car's ready, and I need to get to the garage before. But I just wanted to do a real quick shout out to Max Rebo's band, and to their leader, Mr. Boneyards, whose birthday's today.
Well, happy birthday, guys!
From yeah. So and thank you. I'm sorry I'm having to cut and run.
That's all right. Do what you got to do, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Good luck to everybody on their territory battles.
Yes, indeed. All right, Mr. Turbs, your next Immortal Womprite has a question. He says, question, if General Kenobi is the better tank overall, what makes Shore Trooper and Stormtrooper the best tanks in that Thrawn-led team?
You cut out a tiny bit there, Ranger. You said what makes...
All right, I'll read it again. Immortal Womprite says, question, if General Kenobi is the better tank overall, what makes Shore Trooper, Stormtrooper the best tanks in the Thrawn-led team?
What makes them?
Yes.
Well, we all know how good Shore Trooper is. It's the crit immunity. Again, why General Kenobi is such a good tank, because he spreads around the crit immunity on a crit. He also recovers his health, doesn't he? Or his protection, sorry. He's just a good solid.
He's asking
tank.
if
he's auto taunt
he's
as well.
The best tank. Why are those other two tanks being used then? Is what he's asking.
Thrawn-led team, yeah.
I can answer that. If he can't,
you can.
But go for it, Turbs.
You can fire away. It's not that I can't, to be honest. I'm a little tied.
So with Thrawn-led teams, it's Thrawn. He's Empire. He's an Empire lead, and so you want two Empire tanks, and those two tanks are the best two tanks that are in Empire. And so you're looking for a synergy. That's why people are using Shore Trooper and Stormtrooper, because those two tanks they're both good tanks. They're not as good as General Kenobi, but they're good. But they're better than Kenobi because it's the Thrawn-led team. And so it's an Empire team, and especially if you've got the protection regeneration Zeta, then General Kenobi gains nothing from that. Whereas Shore Trooper and the other thing with Shore Trooper is he doesn't just throw crit hit immunity up like General Kenobi. He actually heals, and so that's kind of a one up. He doesn't give retribution. Retribution is pretty dope, but he gives that health regeneration, and so you're getting health regeneration and protection regeneration with those two. I mean, Shore Trooper and Thrawn together are like a match made in heaven too. So you can put those two on any team, and you're going to create a durability that you can't get like any other team. So
throwing a Death Trooper, throwing a Krennic, and you got yourself a winning team.
Yeah, you're just looking for Empire. That's why they're doing that. They're building an all Empire team, and they're looking for Empire tank synergy, and those are the two best tanks for Empire.
All right. Grim has a question for the panel. Anybody wants to jump in? Question for the panel. You think they are going to nerf Newt again now that he can... Who is typing? I hear typing in the background. Is that you, Finn?
That was me, sorry.
Damn it, Finn. That damn medicine woman. Question for the panel. You think they're going to nerf Newt again now that he can beat the meta with Night Sister Occulti and Night Sister Zombie?
No.
No. I don't see another nerf coming down. The old nerf bat. I mean, if they haven't nerfed him by now, I don't think they're going to... It's not that... If it was something so dominant, you would see it all over the damn meta report.
Yeah, it's not that dominant. The main reason why they nerfed him in the first instance it was because it was pretty much a cheat on the raid, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It just completely it was something that they missed, and it just made the raids completely easy, didn't it? It was stupid. It was he wasn't working as intended with the first fix, whereas this, I think it's powerful, yes, but like I say, it's not completely over the top, is it?
No. All right. Nathaniel Morgan asked, let's see who we're going to. I've lost track. Mike threw me off by leaving. All right. Loki. Nathaniel Morgan asks, when looking at days and characters for territory battle, how is Logray?
I think he's great if he got the other Ewoks too. I mean, he's got AoE days. But yeah, the Ewoks are good. I don't know how many, I mean, they're obviously you need all the new ones. So you need, Wicket's going to be great. Logray behind like Chirpa, and then you can run Elder, and you could probably go Scout, or you can go Tebow, I guess. But I think he's good in territory battles. The Ewoks as a whole with Logray are actually surprisingly very good against the Night Sister Arena team. And they're probably going to be good in territory wars. So at least on offense. But yeah, I think it's good. I would farm him up and build him up if you just wanted to make a fun team, I would go for it.
All right.
And you can use them outside of a Ewok team. You don't have to. Just like you could pull K2SO into any team, or you could put CHS in the back on any team. You can put Logray by himself on the back. The reason why K2SO and Logray are slightly worse than CHS and Zeb is because Zeb and CHS do it on their basic, and Logray and K2SO do it on their special. So you don't get as many days opportunities, but an AoE days is pretty dope. So I know a lot of people that run Logray with rebels, during one of the light side battles or one of the rebel battles, they'll run Logray just so they have that days ability.
Cool. All right. Mrs. Bella, Adam Tron has a question. He says, after speed, is there any stats on mods worth anything? That's a good question.
After what?
After speed, is there any stats on mods worth anything? That's from Adam Tron. So after
I mean, I don't know. I'm not one of those lucky ones with God mods.
Loki, what's that like?
And I was going to say, so I try to have speed on my characters, of course, but also I look for protection. There's some characters where you better put health on them. So what else? Critical chance I sometimes look for, but protection and health and offense flat. How do you say flat? Not a percentage, but the flat figures.
Right. So
and
flat number.
Flat numbers, yeah. And the other ones, I still sometimes need critical chance or something, which is a percentage.
Yeah.
So often I try to find a mod that has some speed, some either protection or health, and maybe critical chance.
Yeah.
So it always depends on the character. And,
that's the most important thing.
It's not all about speed. Speed is very good and important, but other stats are important as well.
Yeah, that's a great point, because characters, depending on what they're doing, Baze doesn't need a buttload of speed, but he needs a lot of other stats. Yeah. So it depends. Each character is different, and they require certain things more than others. You always want speed on any of your mods. It's just good overall, but the other corresponding stats and its main stat, the sets that you're combining them for are important too.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I was just saying we also have these groups like attackers, healers, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And maybe you could say a rule of thumb or something that you put offense or critical damage and so on attackers. Healers mostly need health, actually, because often the amount they can heal depends on their own health.
Yeah.
So what I can recommend, what I do, I mean, beside the website, Crouching Rancor or something like that, I just go in and have a look at the characters and really carefully read their abilities. And if you do that, you might get an idea what this character needs.
There you go. All right, let's see here. I think that's all the main questions. So we're gonna get to the fun questions, and then we'll end the stream. Fun questions. See, Alibaba and the 40 Rebels. He says he has all the skills to make the voice of everyone. Could he at least bring Kylo and Palp to answer the question when Skype goes down? I will think about the next time, Alibaba. It's usually just kind of hard when I'm sitting there trying to figure out what the hell's going on with Skype and the damn stupid Skype. I find it ridiculous. Let's see. Oh my god, I love bananas. Says a question for Warrior. He says, question for Warrior. If you were a banana farmer, in which country would you farm bananas?
Argentina.
Why Argentina?
The last batch of bananas I ate were from Argentina, and they were amazing. So I would go there.
Oh my god. I am Saya says, question, is there any chance that Assassin Master is preparing a special Thanksgiving meal? It has been a while. You know, it has been a while since we've got Gamer Fuel. Finn, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
So, do you think we can get with Assassin and try to do another Gamer Fuel Thanksgiving special?
He was on, what was it, our Saturday stream or our actual stream
he
like
was
2
going
weeks
to,
ago?
but he jot on, but then his mic didn't work, so we didn't really get a chance to last Saturday to have him on.
Yeah, I think he said that he's working on something, but I'll talk with him and see if he's working on something and if there's something we can help him with.
Raise some blood on some fools. Do it. This is for everybody. Tori's Track Knight wants to know, is Lobot an android or a cyborg? Which one is he?
Human was cyborg components.
Yeah, he just, other than the thing that wraps around his head, he doesn't really he's not. I would definitely lean towards cyborg. Anybody else think differently? I don't think he was an android. He was a cyborg. He just had the brain implant thing. And so I'm misunderstanding what that is. All right, and then Ugnaughty has a question. Says, Warrior, can you explain your theory of simming 8 at a time? You know, it's funny. It's a good question because was it Crazy Excuses? This came to my head because I'm doing so much with probability stats and stuff like that right now. The probability is a set number for game stuff. But what is your theory of 8 at a time?
Okay, so it doesn't matter about 8 at a time or 3 at a time or whatever. It doesn't matter, how many or whatever. The issue is, are they seeded when they pull the random number generation? Are they seeded, SEEDED, seeded together or individually? And it can be written either way very easily. I was a programmer for 4 years, so I kind of know a little bit about this. I also have a bachelor's in probability and statistics, kind of know a little bit about this. I'm not the smartest cookie, but I do know a little, and I know it can very easily be written like this. Also, they do this in Vegas, and Vegas makes lots and lots of money. They seed their machines in a certain way. They can also have it where the seeding becomes more restrictive the closer you get to a payout, and then it can go back to natural seeding probability after the fact. So my theory is that the RNG is seeding your poll together versus individually. Now, I could be wrong. But I did a 3-month test where I tracked for 3 months, pulling lower seeds of like batches of 4, batches of 8, things like that, or a batch of 20. And I found the same results with smaller batches than I did with larger batches. The larger batches netted an overall about 3% lower amount. Now, people can say, and I know this because of stats, the 3% is analogous. It's too small of an error sample to worry about. But I consistently, across 3 different pieces of gear, across 3 different months, and across all of the testing that was consistent, I got the exact same 3% greater increase. It could be that I just was phenomenally lucky for those 3 months. I mean, phenomenally lucky, and I had the drops just happen to be in my favor consistently every single week, week in, week out. Well, so what I did was I waited. It's been about a year, and so I spent 2 months. A couple of months ago, it was September and October, that I tracked again, and I made it literally identical. I made every single point identical. I farmed the exact same node. I farmed the exact to the T amount of energy, everything about it, and I went, lower seeding, higher seeding, and I had the exact same 3% greater result. So while I could be wrong, and I am happy to cite theory and to go into all of the statistics and computer programming and all of that, at the end of the day, my results consistently are better through a smaller seed batch versus a larger seed batch. And while the company officially says it is, for a fact, going to pull individually. So if you pull 4, it's pulling 4 individuals. If you pull 10, it's pulling 10 individuals. If you pull 20, it's pulling 20 individuals. While that could be coded that way, and they very well might be right, there's no such thing as true RNG. It's all programmed RNG, and I'm still getting 3% better results. And I don't know about you, but when you're investing in a game and you're wanting the best possible return, if you were putting money into an investment and you were getting 3% greater returns on X investment versus Y investment, you would naturally start doing the X investment because it makes you 3% greater returns, even if it's erroneous. And that's what everyone's saying. They're saying, Warrior, your shit's erroneous, excuse my language. And so they could be right. I could be completely wrong. And they could be seeding it individually like they're saying it. And I'm just the luckiest man on earth after 5 total months of testing that I'm consistently 3% greater, that I'm just the luckiest man on earth. That might be the case. However, I will tell you guys, Arnold, T101, myself, Nukin from the Republic, Mist Passiert, these are all game changers, crazy excuses. We are all doing a current test. We're tracking for like 3 or 4 months right now. We're working on it as we speak, as a group. And we are tracking sims of 1, sims of 2, sims of 4, sims of 8, and sims of 20 to see if through a great broad scope of individuals, if I'm wrong or if I'm right. And it's okay if I'm wrong, and it's okay if the data shows me incorrect, because I've already done my data runs and I already know what I've gotten better results with. But we're doing it because basically, everybody's saying, well, you're totally wrong and you're an idiot. Well, I very well may be wrong and may be an idiot, but I consistently get better results. And for anybody who sims like I do, they will know that they get their character faster when they're simming it, or they get their ability to farm that particular piece of gear faster. And other people will say that's erroneous. But like I said, if I'm wrong, then I'm just doing it my way because I'm a kook, and I'm not hurting anyone, no harm, no foul, right? But if I'm right, I am beating you to the punch every single time on everything because I'm consistently getting 3% better drop rates. I do have facts and proof to back up my data, but even throwing my data out, calling it erroneous because there's only a 3% margin of error, and that is consistent with this. I have enough data that I am satisfied with how I do it and why I do it the way I do it. Now, I don't always do 8s. Sometimes I only need 1 piece of a white piece of gear, so I farm 1. Because I know there's a 100% drop rate on white statistically. So I'm going to farm 1 to get 1 piece. Then I know that the green is 50% statistical drop rate. I've tracked it. So I will do 2 to make sure I get the 1 piece. because statistically 50% of the time it drops. So if I do 2, it's statistically going to drop 50% of the time, and I'm giving myself 2 chances at that 50% drop rate. So I vary my drop rate to maximize how much my energy is being used to gain what it is I need. If I need 1 piece, I'm not going to farm 20. Doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? And I'm not just going to, stock up on that particular item for no reason. I'm hyper efficient with my stuff. But if I'm wrong, then I'm just a kook and I'm just doing my own thing and I'm not harming anybody. So just leave me alone. If I'm right, I'm beating you to the punch every time by average of 3% better drops than you are. And so what do you have to lose type thing? And the truth is, it comes down to, are things seeded corporately or individually? And the company's officially said individually, and that very well may be the case. And I could just be the luckiest man on earth in this game. But if they're done corporately, then everybody that's doing the greater sims, because they're saying no big deal, are being played by the house, and that could be a possibility as well. So it's one of those things. Crazy excuses is smart. She's got a PhD in statistics, so that's definitely better than what I have. But her and I have talked about this in length and talked about different theories and whatnot. And at the end of the day, the conversation is as fruitless as they are online. So the conversation just kind of needs to die. But like I said, we're doing another fun little test. We're doing it every single day, the whole spectrum, and we're gonna see what the end results are. I think we're gonna do it for at least 90 to 120 days, and it's across 6 people, I believe. And 4 of them don't even believe me. So this is kind of one of those things where they could skew the data if they really wanted to prove me wrong, but I don't believe they will. I believe they're going to be.
The sample size.
I believe they'll be integrity filled, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. It's a total waste of a debate, because it's just a game and you do it how you want. And if it makes you feel better doing it 4 at a time or 6 at a time or 8 at a time, then do it that way. If it feels better, if it feels better, do 20 at a time, then great. But you only have to get 2 20 sims where you get 1 and then 1, and then you go, oh wow, I spent 400 energy and I have 2 pieces of gear. And then you get frustrated, all to find out that had you taken that same 400 energy, you would have walked away consistently every day with 12 every day. You know what I mean? If anything, my way of doing it just brings about, even if the drop rate's no greater, it brings about consistency. It brings about consistency, and consistency is key. So
this has been Learning by Lawyer here on NPR.
Was that a fun question?
I know. It was like,
yeah, I was thinking the same actually.
The math and the thing and that was interesting. All right, so now we've reached the time where we pimp our stuff. So we'll go around the corn, let everybody pimp their stuff. Let's see who wasn't here first. I'll pimp their stuff. Rima couldn't be on, but you can check him out at the Alliance. All the links to these channels are below, guys. So help support the channel, give them likes, subscribe. It's important to do that. Mike couldn't be here, so you can check out his channel. It's listed below. Don't know what he has going on, but you can always check out a channel to find out if you subscribe. Same way, Turbs, you're our fellow person across the pond. Anything going on with your channel? Where can people check you out?
I'm on YouTube. You search Turbs. You should be able to find me. If you struggle to find me, just add Galaxy of Heroes or GOH to the end, and you should be able to find me. Jump right to the top. I'm going to be doing some Territory Battle stuff and some Hermit Yoda play. Like I said, I just got up to a Gear 11, so I'm going to have a play around with him, and I'll post some stuff. Any future subscribers are all welcome, but check out some of my old stuff. There's still some fun stuff on there.
All right.
Thanks to Finny as well. I'm liking the new visuals on the stream.
Yeah,
I'm on there as well. Yay!
Yeah, we got everybody on there. That's what we do. Darth Bella, where can people check you out?
Yeah, you find me here every Saturday. And also, I got the YouTube channel. And I can't do videos at the moment. My computer broke down, and I'm working on that. But I have some fun videos there and some good stuff. So check it out.
Very nice. There we go. And then Warrior, where can the folks check you out, my friend?
So on YouTube, you can find me at Warrior Presents. Pretty easy to find. I'm the only Warrior Presents on all of YouTube. And then I also have a brand new sub channel. The sub channel just is a channel that's attached to the main channel. And that channel is called Warriors Roster Reviews. And it is for my roster reviews. Now, I'm confusing everybody, and I apologize in advance, but the roster reviews that are already preloaded on my main account are going to continue to be launched on my main account. I have at least 3 more that need to be made public. They're unlisted, and you can find them, but I will make them public over the next week. And then after this week, it will officially, if you like those roster reviews, you like hearing what I have to say, and you like all those little golden nuggets that I give in each roster review, you're going to have to subscribe to the sub channel to get those notifications for the new roster reviews, because starting in about a week, all roster reviews, all of them, will be on the new channel. But I wanted to give people a few weeks to understand, learn, hear about, go over, subscribe to the new channel. Both channels are linked together. So if you go to Warrior Presents, you can find to the right Warriors roster reviews. And if you go to Warriors roster reviews, you can go to the right. If you like them, you have to subscribe, obviously, to get the notifications so you know there's a new roster review, because you will no longer get those links from my main channel after this week. And you also, if you could help me out, just go on, and I have one public video currently. Watch it for like 1 minute. That's all you really need to do. Just click on it and watch it for like a minute. It's an old video, I'll tell you that right now. That's not for the purposes of making any money, because it's not, the video channel is not monetized yet. But to validate my channel, the roster reviews channel, I have to have 10,000 views. I'm at about 2,000. So I need a few thousand more views before I'll be able to validate that channel. And so that's why I've been giving it a couple of weeks. So if you like the roster reviews, then go over there. If you don't worry about it. You don't have to go over there and do any of that. You can just stay on the main channel. The purpose for this is so everybody who loves the roster reviews, and that's about 5,000 to 8,000 people, can go over, subscribe, and they can get both content from both channels, and they're happily ever after. For the other 15,000 people or so that really don't need or don't like or don't want the roster reviews, they're going to go away on the main channel, and that will give them the freedom to know that my 3 videos a week or whatever are actual just basic game content, not roster reviews. So that way the people who want to see non-roster review related material will get that. So it's just, the time has come. It's gotten busy enough. I've done over 140 roster reviews, and I thought when I hit 100, I thought, I got to be close to being done. Well, we're at 140, and I'm over 30 behind for my patrons. So there's no end in sight. This is a very popular series. I get people, it's a very cultic following. People who love it, they really love it, and people who don't like roster reviews really don't like them. So it's just so polarizing. I've got to put them on a separate channel. And so, like I said, there'll be a couple more roster reviews dropped on my main channel this week, and then after that, they're gone. They're done. I already have 4 roster reviews, or 6. I think I have 6 on my new channel. They're just unlisted. But soon I'll start making those public on that new channel as well. So if you stop seeing them, that's what's happened. So I'll continue to talk about it over the next few months just to make sure people know to move over there. But I just feel bad because I get about 8,000 views, 5,000 to 8,000 views on those videos, and people love them. And I only have about 1,200 subscribers on the new channel. So there's about 4,000 people who are going to be left in the dark once this transition officially occurs. So if you're listening and you like those roster reviews, go to Warriors Roster Reviews or go to Warrior Presents and find the link to the right.
There you go. All right.
And I got to go, so I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, Warrior, hang tight.
Thank you for having us on, and love the new skin. It looks amazing. Great job, Finity, and everybody else. It was a pleasure as always.
Awesome. All right, and of course, I think we got everybody. Did we get everybody? I think we did. We covered everybody. Okay, good. And of course, if you're watching, this is the Jedi Academy. This is on Reality Skewed Gamers. We stream this show every Saturday at 10 a.m. Again, reminder, there will be no show next Saturday because we will be the Thanksgiving holidays and stuff. So just sorry, I'll be out of town. Finn's going to be doing stuff. We're all going to be busy. So Saturday, Jedi Academy next Saturday will not be there. Hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving. But this is not the only show we stream. We stream on Wednesdays from 8 p.m. Eastern to whenever we get done covering the latest. That's our normal Wednesday stream, and you can check that out. We cover the latest and greatest news and notes and tell you what it all means for the game of Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. And on Saturday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern tonight, we will have our fun late night stream where we just kind of cut loose, have fun, play the game, answer some questions, do some really goofy, ridiculous stuff. Just kind of unbutton our shirts, hang back, drink a little bit, have a little bit of fun. That's all that matters. Is why we do it for you guys, because you guys enjoy just hanging out with us. We're not in really an official format. So we have the 3 streams going on, and if you like what you see, you can give us a thumbs up. You can support us that way, or you can subscribe to the channel. So yeah, give us a thumbs up. It helps get the videos out there. Subscribe helps support the channel, and then of course spread the word. And on behalf of myself, Dr. Finn, Medicine Woman, Loki the Lightsaber Builder Extraordinaire, my apprentice Darth Bella, Mike and Turbo from across the pond, and of course Warrior Presents, and all the great fans out there that watch this. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Have a great weekend, and we will see you tonight if you're going to be, and if not, we'll see you on Wednesday. Talk to you later.